What's up, guys? Welcome to a very special interview for the comeback episode of Critical Points. Right now, I'd like to welcome ZFS and Hugz. Say what's up, guys.
What's up?
Yo.
So, thank you for being on the show. First off, let's talk about Kings. You guys are legendary in this community, pretty much iconic in the game. So, how did Kings originally start?
Well, Kings goes like way back, before 3 years ago. It was started with me and my friends in real life, and then they left the gaming scene. So we just I recruited some people, members, people to this day, like Cuba, like Abs. And yeah, we came from MC. We were good at MC3, MC4, MC5,
Oh,
and
wow.
ZFS when it's released. And yeah.
So, tell me about the evolution into COPS.
Well, coming from a series like MC, where shooting is way more arcadey. When you die, you're used to respawn. In COPS, you have one chance, so you have to play more slowly, more defensively, more smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we had to get used to that.
So who was on your guys' roster now currently as competitive?
It's me, Hugz. That is Angel, Headshot, Kuba, and Inferno. We kind of like to use.
Okay.
But then there's also really good other players like Fizzy, Doggo, who else did I miss? Empire. We have a girl called Erwin, but we don't really. She's ZFS in scrims. Erwin, subs.
Okay.
Basically.
So on your competitive roster now, you guys are pretty stacked. Tell us about your kind of dominance in ESL on the EU side right now.
Me or ZFS? ZFS.
Either one of you guys.
You Hugz, you can talk about comp.
Alright, so basically, we're number one seeded in ESL, and we're also number one seeded in the Lions currently. So yeah, talking about our roster, we're basically, in my opinion, that's purely my opinion, we're the strongest EU team. We also synergy wise, for example, me, Angel, and Headshot, we go way back. I don't know if you know the clan Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be in that as a team. I've been playing alongside with Angel a lot, also in Team Phoenix. So,
what do you guys think of the return of OL?
Okay, basically, when a clan comes back, it should have its leader leading it, because a clan originates from an idea, right?
Uh-huh.
And the guy who came up with the idea knows how to perfect it best. So I don't know, it depends. If the original leader comes back to lead the OL, back in the day, Punisher, if he comes back to lead it, then yeah.
I was in OL for I believe a good 8 months. Actually, I was high captain in OL, but that's besides the point. But yeah, Punisher was really motivated and really devoted a lot of time into OL. And I think the last time OL came back was around before they lost the redemption. I don't know if you were around back then. But yeah, back then they had a different leader. They had Drone from the original leaders, but they also had another guy. And it just didn't work out because that's just his personality. But yeah, that's basically why OL shouldn't return. If Punisher isn't leading it, it's not gonna go well, basically.
Okay. This one's for you, ZFS. Why do you think Kings is so successful? You can talk about some of the other teams you guys may have besides the COPS team, because you guys have great content creators. How long did it take to really build your community?
Well, basically, as I said before, we go way back. So we have we didn't just come just as new people in COPS. Like we have a huge fan base like from other games, and like they came up from us from like the MC series to like COPS. So like we introduced some people to COPS, and that's why like we have like a big part in this community and the comp scene. Like in Kings, what makes Kings different from other clans or other like organizations, log in the, like does something he didn't like intend to do, like a simple mistake in game or like choke, we don't really go too harsh on them or too hard on them. We're like, oh, okay, you can do better next time. Like we have this like family relationship.
That shows
really,
signs of maturity too.
Yeah, I we show like huge respect to each other. Like if somebody has a problem, we talk to each other. Like me, Kuba, Headshot, like Planik, like we manage the clan basically together, and Inferno. So like let's say like a member has a problem or anything, he just comes to either of the leaders and PMs his problem, and we just fix it. Like, and what I notice in other clans or other teams, when a guy has a problem, he just like he doesn't say anything. It just builds up, and like at the end of the day, he just ends up leaving or clan hopping to another team.
Yeah, or explodes in the VC or disconnects during the scrim.
Yeah.
And if I may, I think there's also a regional difference that has something to do with. I feel like EU, the teams in EU like Ascend, AES, and them. AES too. It was a Modern Combat 5 clan. It's way more organized, way more. People have way more devotion. People stick together, and that's how you build a good team. I feel like NA, they just stack up good players, and then you should follow and see how many times they ask on Twitter for a new team. Like it's Kings doesn't have like, maybe we have really good players, but maybe there's someone out there that has better individual skill, but that doesn't mean, or that has players that have better individual skill, but that doesn't mean the team is necessarily better because. If you stack up really good players, that's something different from stacking up really good friends.
I agree with that 100%. I think I've always, when I started D2R, we're a very new team. I've only been around for 5 or 6 months, but I used to tell them, I don't care if you're the best player in the world. If you're very toxic and you're gonna hurt the team, it doesn't matter your individual stats. It matters what the team does.
Yeah.
So, did you guys, were you guys excited that some of your members got to go to Finland?
Yeah, that was like those experiences, like they happen like once in a lifetime. To meet someone like you have built a relationship with online, and you meet them in real life just like that is like something amazing.
Are you guys pretty close relationships with the developers then? Yeah,
the devs we do like weekly calls. We tell them what we want in the game, what we think we should be fixed, and like they listen to us. Like the devs, like COPS, what makes COPS like so good, and like how they like if you look back at COPS when it was first released till this day, they have made some huge improvements, and that goes to show that like the devs listen to the community and really care about what they think.
Yeah, if I may, there like last week, ZFS actually invited me because a long time, and I know a thing or two about the game. So we were actually like all of us were saying some stuff that we thought needed improvement, and like the new update came, like an updated version of Ranked, and they listened to every single thing we said. Like it was amazing, and there's still a lot of things that need to be improved, but the devs are really like, and I mean this when I say they're really working on it. Like,
that's a lot of respect to you guys.
Yeah, for example, if someone AFKs in rank, they drop the bomb now. That was also suggested by one of us. Like they really listen.
Nice.
So that's really good.
That's really cool.
It's not just us. Like at St. Kings, like they listen. Like they get like a person from each clan or each organization, and like they get them in the call and they listen to like each side of the story.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
the community is pretty young, so they don't get it or understand that the development of this takes time. Like literally, we're in what point 0.08 or 9 now, and I haven't seen it from the beginning. So it's been a long journey, and the game's not even out yet. And there's big tournaments going on. You have the LAN coming up, which I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna make it to LAN. But you never know what's going to happen. But you guys definitely going to be probably seeded number one going into top eight. Are you guys
No, we are.
excited about the opportunity to be at the first LAN and potentially be a part of history?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't quite.
Oh, I was saying, are you excited for your opportunity to potentially go to LAN and be a part of history for the game?
Should I answer the ZFS
yeah,
competitive?
I'll do it. I'll do it. Well,
Okay.
basically, like when you play like the game from like since it's released, like COPS, we have been playing COPS ever since it got released. Like as Kings, we've been practicing, we've been scrimming, we've been winning tournaments, we've been improving, and like to like meet each other like at a LAN tournament
Mm-hmm.
to play the game we love and like, and like earn prizes and meet each other. That's something amazing. And,
Yeah.
like that's something like huge for the devs to do. Like that COPS isn't like it's not like in the place of Vainglory. Like Vainglory was like in development, and they didn't have like LAN tournaments like COPS does this early.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that goes to show that like the devs want to make COPS a huge title on like iOS and Android.
Okay. I think it's a great thing, to be honest, to be this far in the game and then having these big tournaments. And you mentioned something that I think is a big part because you guys talk about family a lot. And when you get to actually see the members in real life and hang out with them, those are memories that you'll never lose or never forget or take away.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? You talked about you guys have close relationships with the devs. What kind of things would you like to see in the future for the competitive scene?
Oh, can I answer this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, there's a couple of things that for me are really important. So first of all, COPS is, of course, it's a mobile game. I'm still a fan of no aim assist, but that will never be removed. So like I'm fine with it. But I am a fan of increased recoil. I think if you somehow make the gameplay a bit more difficult, you're gonna see something way more based around strategies. Right now, COPS is like even though it's really strategic. Sorry, um, it's still a bit too much run and gun, in my opinion.
Hmm.
There's still things like getting strafed headshotted, getting like people running and gunning. Like they should really fix that. I feel like if you focus it more around looking like CS:GO, not copying it, but like looking at CS:GO at the recoil patterns and stuff, you're gonna have a way more strategical game because now people don't really use strategies. People don't really focus on that one good smoke spot or that one good
Hmm.
pop flash. Like it's you can basically clear a side on your own like this,
Hmm.
and should it be improved?
And
Also,
another thing, the gun balancing. Like
Yes,
if you
thank
see
you.
tournaments, everybody's using the AK, and it's
Yep.
fine. We love the AK, but like if you see other games, like for example, like CS:GO, as we said before, you see pros using a variety of guns. Like it's not just like this dominant gun. And
Hmm.
we spoke to the devs about it, and they said they'll see what they're gonna do in the
Yeah,
future.
like CT should start with CT sided guns and T should start with T sided guns. Plus, that would also make the flip really mean a lot more.
yeah, and I mean, right now, economy isn't really that important. I mean, you either eco or you don't.
Hmm.
So you either play P250 or MR, or you play AK with Kevlar.
Yep.
And if they change the gun balancing, economy is going to be way more important because you're going to have every gun is going to have a different price. Every gun's going to have different advantages, different angles you can easily hold with that gun. So that's something I really like to see.
I heard a rumor of weapons coming out, and I don't know if you guys can confirm this or not, or if it was actually just a rumor. I heard the possibilities of a Molotov and a Scout.
No, I cannot confirm that. What I do know
Mm.
is that they had a gun back in the day that they never brought out. Which was like I don't know the IGN name, but I know that the name of the gun is like the G 36 in real life. That's the gun they wanted to add, but I never saw that gun back. So
Well, right
I don't know.
now, as we like spoke to them, they said they're gonna focus like on polishing ranked,
Mm-hmm.
like to achieve the better ranked experience. Like as you saw before on test flight, they released this new update where like if a guy goes AFK, he drops the bomb. Like they're doing some small fixes to make the ranked game feel better and more competitive. Basically. So and you can look at the development plan. Like
Yeah, on
they're
the
focusing
Trello.
on rank. Yeah, they want to release party rank and they want to improve the spectator mode for tournaments as well. Yeah,
I
that's
think
what they're focusing on.
go ahead, Hugs. Looks like you wanted to talk.
No, oh no, I didn't say anything. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm interested in you guys. To be honest, I'm a fan. And I try and be unbiased when I do this. Even though I'm part of D2R, I'm also a fan of the game and a fan of watching. When I first looked up this game, literally all I saw was kings, 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 kings. How was um, Kings and Hammers and Team Phoenix? How did that all go down? Was that a good thing for you
Well,
guys or a bad thing? Like,
well, okay. So when you come to a clan, okay, or any organization, yeah, you've built a bond, and you like take like 6 or 7 people out of the group, and you tell them, okay, I want you to join this organization with me. As you can expect, like things like nothing's gonna be smooth and easy every time you do it.
mhm.
So some problems are gonna happen, and that's what happened in Team Phoenix. At the start of Team Phoenix, some of the members, original members like Abs, Cuba, they all joined Team Phoenix at the early start. And you know when you like put stacked players from different teams, like as you remember back in the day, Kings had 3 teams.
Mhm.
So we just took the stacked players from those teams and we put them together and we to join Team Phoenix. And like they had like the chemistry wasn't on point. So some people had some personal problems and it just didn't go well. And it ended up like dying at the start. Some people left and joined Kings back, like Kuba. He's leading Kings to this day with me. And some people stayed in Team Phoenix and recruited other members, like Avs did. How he recruited the people like Drone, people like Thesk, people like Cam, and yeah. And then the thing about Hammers, at the time, a lot of organizations were coming to the COP scene. As you can, as you know, Kings is a top team. So like after Team Phoenix, we still had some Kings teams like Uprising and we had Redemption. And we were winning a lot of tournaments, Uprising and Redemption, ESL, EU, and NA. So Hammers Esports approached us and we're like, "Yo, are you guys interested in joining an organization?" And at the time, we were like this is a new chance, like this is a new experience. So we agreed upon it, and you know, things didn't really turn out very good at the end of the day because of some uh, personal issues with the organization and like the game. They didn't really believe in the game, basically.
Oh wow.
They just well they believed in it at the start, but like as they saw some stuff in the community, like how some people talk trash,
Super
some people
toxic. Yes.
some people clan hop, some people like act cocky, but like in reality they are nothing. Like they saw people do that and they were like, we don't want any part of it,
Hmm. And
basically.
that's definitely something I've preached to my teams that are my team. If the community wants to get bigger, it has to mature. And that's one
Yeah.
thing that has to happen. And then they'll respond with, well, every game's got toxic players. And I'm like, yeah, but they also act professional too. I don't see a lot of professional people acting professional in this community. And it's glad to hear that there's a big team in here like you guys that actually care about something like that.
like Hammers was really good to us. Like one of our players, like he couldn't play COPS, so they gave him an iPad. Like even when they said they didn't really believe in the game, they were like, "You guys are welcome to stay in Hammers." But like, what's the point of staying in Hammers if they don't believe in the game, right? So we
True.
just left at that time, and we just went from King's Uprising. And you know how the COPS devs made this new rule where you must have one EU team and one NA team.
Mm-hmm.
So the NA team, known before as Redemption, is now IMP, led by Agjon and Retros and Drone.
Who is now Cyclone.
Yeah.
So,
and the other EU part is now Uprising.
So you guys are just insanely successful in this community between the EU and NA side. What kind of advice would you give for other teams that haven't had that quite opportunity to be approached by orgs and stuff like that? Or do you even think that's even a big deal?
Well, I see a lot of people, like a lot of big teams, a lot of big players, saying like the tournament costs as well. They always say like, oh, you should stick to a team. When you get invited to another team, just say no and try to build synergy with your current team. But I know this is hard. Like I've had it in the past where I used to be in Gangstars, Team Phoenix, Kings, OL, SXE. Like I clan hopped a lot too, and only because I felt like I could win more with another team, I joined that team. But I learned from that experience, and that's something that you should always keep in mind. That like this game, nobody has talent in this game. Like it's all of this is pure practice. You're not better than someone else. Like scrim a lot with your team. Be nice to each other. Be friendly, because you never know if an org's gonna pick you up, yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that a lot of teams tend to forget. Like a lot of NA teams, for example, they spread up into different teams, and it switches up the competitive scene, which is good, but doesn't really build good teams, good strong teams that last. That's something really important.
Oh yeah, I see teams take an L and then they immediately they disband instead of trying to practice and like learn from their mistakes.
Like if every let's say okay, this is like your typical a clan hopper basically. He makes a team. The team is going well. They keep winning, and they lose. Okay, and listen, Kings we lost. Okay, we win. Yeah, we win more than we lose. But to learn from to build something huge in the future, you have to lose basically to learn from your mistakes. And when a team disbands because they lost, what do you gain from this? This is the problem in this community. If every person made a team and they committed to it, the comp scene would be way bigger and way more entertaining to watch. Basically.
Exactly.
Right now you have other clans like Ascent, IMP who are now Cyclone. You have Gangstars Kings. How did we get to this place? We played with each other. We built chemistry.
Yeah, you guys put in the work.
Know each other. Yeah, that's what other teams need to understand. We are not good at COPS naturally. We put in time and effort, and we got something back at them. And that's it in life basically. If you want to succeed in life, you have to
you have to work hard no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it.
Yeah, and with the current state of the game where there's 500 euros or dollars per week, and with the big alliance prizes, I think that money blinds a lot of people. If people lose a lot with their team, but they want money now, a lot of people in this community are still kids and they see 500 and they really want. So, for example, people I'm not gonna name anyone, but there's people that win with you in their team, and then what they do is they win prizes, and then they try to start something. So you decide to leave, and they never give you the money.
Wow.
And this really creates toxicity in the community, and then they try to make it seem like it's your problem. So yeah, I'm happy that COPS has big prizes, but creates a lot of drama, especially uh, between bigger teams that win a lot. They just take money.
And another thing, like we like pro players in the community, they're like the role models. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a pro player acting toxic, you as a smaller player, you're like, okay, this guy he's skilled at COPS and he's doing bad things, yet people aren't like criticizing him or doing anything.
Yeah, they think that's normal.
Yeah, if I do the same things gonna happen to me, and that's the problem. You see this in NA more than you see it
Oh
in
yeah,
EU.
and it
Yeah,
is. I almost
yeah,
left the
yeah.
community within a week because this is
Like
it just
like you have people like Agjon and Retros who were in Kings before. They have built IMP on that premise. Like basically what Kings is now. Like you have to have a bond. You don't need to be cocky. That's IMP. Other teams in NA or other NA players, like they are in a team, they keep winning a tournament, yeah, and their team starts losing or they stop practicing. And what do they do? Like the good players, the carries, they just go and join another team, and their other team just dies or disbands.
And without consequences. Like they join other used to have drama with before, without anyone criticizing them. And then the smaller players indeed also see like, oh, you can just create drama with teams and then join them anyway, no consequences whatsoever.
now. Do you guys
That's
have
what.
contracts then to prevent stuff like that?
Listen, there's something I hear about contracts. Contracts are like, I know like they're like for safety, but like they're too formal. Like when you say, oh, this guy is in a contract, like when something happens in a clan and he wants to leave, he stays because his contract tells him to. But he's not gonna act like he acted before. So he's just gonna
Correct.
act toxic. So you just kick him or tell him to leave.
So basically,
That's
you
what
have someone on your team for like 5 months that doesn't want to be there.
pretty much basically. So that's the thing in Kings. We build the relationships on trust.
That's beautiful. So here's my thing. I do like a power rankings, and I have you guys pretty much in number one for like the last 4 or 5 weeks. Here's a question I'd like to ask for you guys, since you guys are EU, and obviously the other dominant part of the world is the NA side. Who is better competitive wise? Do you think the EU side or the NA side? Now, I know from my past experience growing up watching CS and CS 1.6, EU dominated those games. Is that, and maybe that's why the community on the EU side is a little different than the NA side. I don't know.
Well, if you but okay, just one second. If you can, like, if you see the other ESL tournaments, the one that happened the week before, you can see how many teams signed up for EU.
Oh
and
yeah.
how many teams signed up for NA. And the EU, like, they have way more teams than the NA part. So, like, comp-wise, EU has, like, more competition because it has more teams. NA has good teams. Teams are great. Teams are good, like Gangstars, like IMP, who are now Cyclone. Like, fucking...
Lucidity is up there.
Lucidity. Like, they have a lot of good teams, but, like, you don't have, like, those small guys, like, those small teams who are up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see much of them in NA.
Yeah, I think the NA side doesn't give the EU side much credit because I see how many people signed up. There's 3 times almost as many on the EU side. So when people say Kings has an easy road, it's not. Your guys' brackets are huge compared to the NA side.
Yeah, and one thing that I've learned from playing this game since release and being in top teams is I played alongside a lot of big NA players, and I like most of them. Like they're nice, but I'm not a fan of comparing regions. Like I think comparing teams is fine, but why compare regions? Like there's so many different people that we don't even know of that play this game
that you never know could be
play
like the best player without being competitive.
Exactly, and so I am I support comparing teams. That's something that is different from regions. Now, team wise, of course, NA has more top teams. Like the absolute top is really competitive. Like between Lucidity, D2R1 lost ESL, like IMP in them, and with EU, it's basically Kings and Ascent and a bit of VL and AES, but it's not all like top teams, you know, and that is a difference. But like CFS said, EU has way more teams. So
Okay, tell us about last week's ESL. What was your guys' mindset going into the finals, and how did you guys come back? Like, how did you guys obviously kept your calm. How did you come back and basically turn it around?
I wasn't playing that ESL. But
I think if I can get someone who was playing like that week to interview you on some other time, that would be good.
Okay,
You know?
yeah, that's fine, absolutely.
but what I do,
Go ahead.
me and Inferno, I got I was punished for bad grades, so my iPad got taken away, and Inferno fell asleep. So we had two of our main players we didn't have. So yeah, we had to play with substitute players. Going into a match with substitute players for us isn't really that stressful because we scrim a lot with them, but it still changes up the situation a bit. So I think that played a really big part. But luckily we got out on top. We just need to prevent these situations in the future.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of real life comes first, but also that also shows the strength of your guys' depth on your team. Like where you have starters that drop out, and then the guys that are quote unquote subs come in, and it doesn't change a thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
So what else do you guys want? Is there anything you guys want to talk about outside of the COP scene, or anything else you'd like to mention, bring up, shout out your sponsors, Twitter accounts? I know you guys have great content creators, so anything else you want to mention?
No, ZFS, do you
well, yeah, well, basically, I want to like shout out to like Cuba, because like Cuba was like when Kings came up, like he played a huge part in it, and he still does to this day. So shout out to Cuba and shout out to Planic, who like keeps updating the YouTube with the great YouTube content. And yeah,
I want to shout out. Can I shout out two people?
Yeah, you can shout out.
I want to shout out Doggo and Fizzy for being constant supporters of my YouTube. They've really been supportive towards me. I just recently started YouTube, and they really give me great feedback. So yeah.
Right on. I appreciate you guys for coming on. You guys are welcome to come on anytime you want. So congratulations this past weekend. Good luck in the top 8, and good luck in hopefully making it to LAN.
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show, guys. Peace.
No problem.